Hello, Teaquilters. Today is Wednesday, March 26th, I think. Let's check. Yes, the 26th, 2025. It is 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm here with live chat. And I may be sewing. So, the title of this video is My Happy Place is a Quilt Shop. So, I'm hoping that I can sew on a block. And if not, I just want to share some optional piecing ideas as well. So let me check and see who's in the chat. Just going to say first names. Not going to be reading everything unless it's from my moderators tonight. So let me go check that out. All right, all right. Whew. Sue GSD in here trying to stress me out. Just type a 9. She says, good evening, T and fellow quilters. 91 really long days until retreat 2025. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. So they don't feel like they're going to be long now because it's March, almost April, and retreat is in June, the end of June. So we got exactly 3 months before retreat. So I'm marking things off my list. Still got a few things to do. So I've been writing stuff down that I need to do. So I'm working on it, and it will be done by retreat. So trust and believe that. And then we've got Darcy here saying give Tia a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Also check out the Facebook page, which is Teaquilts LLC. Make sure you answer those 4 questions so you just gain admission faster. Or if at all, because I've been just denying them because I don't have time to go checking people's profile to make sure it's a real profile. So, and she says T is here on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and for 1 hour. And then on Saturdays, I'm here at 8 p.m. for 2 hours where I do mostly sewing chats on Saturday. Deborah Sims Brown is here. Francis Jackson, Betsy Layton, Brenda Foley, Cedric Creations, Delia Castro Short, Brenda Foley, I said. Dee Branson's here. Yolanda Reza, Suzette Peterkin Denton, Vivian Calvi. Vivian, I forwarded you 2 emails regarding soap, so hopefully you got those. I sent them from Teaquilts News. Claudette Hall's here. Melina Montoya, Sheila Willis, Dorothy Battle, Benita Nance, Anita Scott, Kevin the Quilter, Maddie Barnum, Kim R., Sharon Lewis, Jenny McCarroll, Janice Miller, Deborah Quilts, and Teresa Forrester, Emily Zahoot, and Tracy Middlebrook. So welcome everybody to the chat. I am working on My Happy Place, which is a quilt by Lori Holt, but I'm also trying not to do any or not much applique than what's absolutely necessary. There are some beautiful blocks in there that are applique, and I just don't have time to do it, and I don't want it to be top stitch applique or fusible stitching, because I've made quilts with those in the past, and then when I wash them, underneath the stitching, the fusible eventually wears up and starts to fray, and I don't like it, so I don't do that anymore. So I'm opting to do piece blocks instead. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I do have some other things I want to talk about or show you as well. A couple things, not a lot. But Kevin's also reminding you all about the 2025 Teaquilts charity projects, which is pillowcases for adults and children, male or female. So anything pillowcase that you like. You can use any free pattern online that you like. We prefer to have them hot dog style, but they don't have to be. It could be hot dog style, burrito style, or you can do French seams or not. It doesn't have to be. They just look better if they're French seams, but we take everything. um, we are almost at our goal of 200. And I've been thinking about, because I know we're going to go to it anyway, but I've been thinking about switching it to 300. So, pillowcases, because I know there are a couple of people who have not sent their pillowcases in. At least 2 people, Kevin and Sue. And then Darcy has more coming. And there's another group of sewers. They have pillowcases. And we haven't even gotten to retreat yet, okay? So I feel like we're going to easily surpass the 200. And yeah. So we may end up switching that to 300 pillowcases. So you all have been just fantastic. We started with a goal because all I do is count the number of people at retreat, and then I add just a few more to the goal of things that we're going to make. And I think I started with 45 and then easily was convinced to go to 100. 100 was no problem. And then we got to 200 by accident trying to say 100, okay? Yeah, that's what had happened. Oh my goodness, it kicked me out of chat. Let me go back in here and get the filter right. I don't know why it kicked me out. I think it gave me an ad. I guess it's doing it on its own now. So all pillowcases will be at retreat. I've already given Kevin one large like big tote thing bag, but I use a bag because they're easier for me to carry because the tote has weight. And I'm working on the second one now, so it's getting full, but it could take some more. It's getting full though. And Kim messing with Kevin, talking about Kevin in the house, all caps, Kevin in the house. Lana Dean is here. Welcome, welcome. Michelle the Quilter. Don Cunningham. Betty Ward. And she says she's in the pillowcase numbers. So cool, cool. Kevin is too excited to raise the goal. He's talking about 300. 300 is the new goal. Sue says, I told you so. But Sue, you were trying to do 1,000. Come on. You were going cuckoo. Hi, Leetta Bryant. And Kim says 300 it is. What's going on with Michelle the Quilter? Did I miss something? Kevin out here doing cheerleading stuff. Crafting on a Dime is here. Hi, Shay Shay, welcome. Shelly S is here. Don says, I plan on making a couple of pillowcases, need to get started on them. And oh, that's what I'm getting stuff late apparently, because Michelle the Quilter says I'm sewing mine this week. Go for 300, right? I feel like we already got 300. That's why I can comfortably say that. Jester Creative Spaces is here. Says she just received an ad as well. I try to cut them off. I wonder if I hit something and didn't know it. I don't know. But I just got an ad and then it knocked me out of my chat on my phone here. But, you know, I wasn't used to seeing an ad, so I probably hit something and knocked it out. And I've got a little hangnail that is driving me nuts. Just all of a sudden popped up. Okay. So, Shelly's going to be mailing our pillowcases in the next couple of days. So that's cool. Thank you. Thank you. And Kevin's in here doing his duty. I don't know what Kevin doing with lips and stuff out here. He's so crazy. I cannot with you. I am not going there with you. And Delia says she's getting ads too. So, you know, I only do live. So I guess the only opportunity for me to have you all watch an ad is during the lives. And I wonder if YouTube has changed something again. And I may have just skipped past something and not noticed it. So I'll try to look at it for the next time. But we shall see. All right. Let me go ahead and just make the announcements now for people that are here. I am about to place a checker order. They have these books in stock. They have not mailed them. So I guess I need to place another order in order for them to send me the books. But I wanted to make sure before I placed an order, if anybody else did not get a chance to order this book, The Ultimate Quilt Finishing Guide, Batting, Backing, Binding, and 100 Plus Borders. So it's talking about how you finish off your quilts. And it goes into the different types of battings, why you would want to use a particular batting. I have a video on YouTube talking about different battings as well. Backings, I have video on the four types of backings that I use. And then binding, they talk about the various ways of doing that. And then they got different borders in here. And it's by Harriet Hargrave and Carrie Hargrave Jones. So if you're interested in this book, let me know. So, because I'm about to place an order and I want to make sure, because I'm not going to be placing another order for a while. So I want to make sure that I get everything that I need on this order. They do not have any more Dresden Village patterns. And I'm not even sure if the templates are there. So if you're now wanting to do Dresden Village patterns, sew along, I don't have any other patterns. I did respond to Joy Sterling. I'm hoping that the email went to her. She ended up getting her stuff from somewhere else, and then she just wanted to join the Facebook group, which is a cost of $25. If you don't get your pattern from me, it's $12 if you get your pattern from me. What else? Our cell lady is here. I don't know if I said her name before. Just want to make sure. I want to come over and get bean soup. Brenda says, how much is the border book? It's $24.95, so $25. And then I ship it to you for free. And that's about like another $7, $8 to ship it. And if I don't know who you are, if you've never ordered or sent me an email, you're going to have to email me if you want the book. I'm going to be hopefully ordering tomorrow. I got a whole lot of ordering I'm about to do tomorrow. I've already put in my order for the t-shirts. They're waiting for anybody else that want to be added on, which is the t-shirt that I have on is one of those shirts. It's Teaquilts Scrap Quilting Club. They all have this yellow gold lettering. So you need to pick a color shirt that the yellow will stand out on. And I put this shirt on in particular because I wanted to show you that it will show up on orange and red and things like that. It will not show up on a yellow shirt. So don't ask for the shirt in yellow. Of course, it'll come in any of your jewel tone colors, your dark colors like navy, royal, Irish green, Kelly green. So it will work on a number of those type of things. So yeah. Kevin saying, please email Miss T for any book orders this evening, Teaquilts at teaquilts.com. Also, any t-shirt orders. I mentioned this on Saturday and said people had till Wednesday because I'm going to be ordering on Thursday. So I just want to make sure that anybody that wants something, because t-shirts I cannot order unless I have a certain number of shirts. And so the shirt prices are up to XL is $20 and $25 if you're 2XL plus. And then in order for me to have that price, I need a certain number of shirts to order that. So because I try to round the prices instead of paying for each shirt by size. I try to do sizes small through XL at this price and then 2XL plus, because every time you add a XL, it goes up higher and higher. And so what I did was just took the median price, but everything keeps going up. And everything but my t-shirts, that is. So I'm gonna the t-shirt prices have gone up, but I'm trying to keep the prices the same. So you will have to pay your shipping if I have to ship it to you on the t-shirts, because I have not raised my price on the t-shirts. So yeah. Don says, okay, so Don said ad popped in. So I think they've done some kind of change, and I must have just hit enter through some stuff and probably hit putting some ads on. So I'll look at it the next time I schedule. Hopefully it won't happen on Saturday, but there's nothing I can do about it if they're going to put them in there. Oh, Sharon, you don't have to send an email, Sharon, because what I need people... The only people I need to do the emails are people that I don't know. If you've never contacted me before, I will not order for people where I don't have your email address so that I could bill them. So Sharon, I'm going to put border book right here. And I already got the other people that ordered. So if you got one already on the list, don't put your name on this list. Border book editions. Because I'm just trying to get an order so that they can mail the other books. So I got Sharon on here. And then, hey Carissa, welcome, welcome. Minnie Doula, welcome. Maddie says, I like the shirt you got on. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you. If you want to get one, just let me know. I don't know what that means. So, do they have by Annie? I need a side hustle pattern. Yes. And I don't know if I got your name, Gesture Creative Spaces. I'm just going to put a 2 down here for Annie, by Annie. They do have them. Side hustle. And then email me, because I don't know if I got your information or not. I don't know. I can't remember your real name. I can't remember everybody's name. But I got it down. Because I know a couple of you emailed me for the documentary book, but I can't remember who. Teaquilts, I'm going to email in a few minutes because I would like to get the border book from you. Okay, that'll be great because I don't have your name. I'm just going to put your YouTube name on here for right now. And then Kevin says, book order, t-shirt orders, any orders, please email Teaquilts at teaquilts.com. So thank you, thank you. That's from Kevin. He's keeping y'all in order today. And thanks for the Teaquilts orders placed this evening. Deborah Holloway came in. Hello, welcome to the chat. And Brenda says she wants a book. Okay, and our Sell Lady just sent the book. And I'll put Yolanda. Make sure you send me an email. I can't remember if I've talked to you or not in email. I'm going to put a little asterisk by the people that need to email me, because I won't be ordering them if I don't see an email. Because I have no way of billing you. That's what the email is for. And I don't want you putting your email into the chat, because not only will the people in here have it, which isn't the problem doing the live, it's the people that are viewing the video when it goes live, because the chat stays with the video. So that's why I don't ask for you to put your chat in here. Oh, you ordered a brown one. Okay, because I don't have the list of all of it. Hold on. I guess I must have missed your email, Maddie. Do you already have it, or are you supposed to be on here? I'm going to write her name on here just in case, because I don't have it. I don't have it in this book for some reason. Maddie Barnum, let me know what size. Send me another email. I guess I must have missed it. Thank you, Maddie. She says, should I email you? Yes. I put your name down, though, to make sure I don't miss you. The last order I had was that I got in my computer is Tracy, and I don't see your name on here. Oh, my goodness. I can do PayPal, I can do CashApp, Venmo, and Zelle for payments. That somebody is asking, what type of payments do I take? Just let me know in your email if you haven't sent it, or send another one, what way you like to pay. That's all. Thank you, Maddie. And Sue says she finished 5 pillowcases for her quilt guild. So that's the other thing. I just want to share. My brother is not in here, but I want to give him a shout out, because at Mercy Center, they have their own power system. We don't have to bring extension cords, surge protectors, and things like that. And it's normally not a problem when I'm having in-town retreats, because everybody brings their own power stuff anyway to hook into. So I gotta buy extension cords and surge protectors in order for us to have power to sew. Lo and behold, my brother calls me and said he's got surge protectors. So he donated 10. They're all used, but he donated 10 surge protectors. So I don't have to buy that. I probably need about 20, but even when I go to Harbor Freight, these things are expensive, and he has saved me a whole lot of money, because I had bought just a few for Scrap Club and spent a pretty penny. So now what I got to do is just buy like 100-foot extension cords, and then ask my people who are local to bring their own surge protectors. So this is a big help. So I can get power from the wall to the tables. Now all I have to buy are like 100-foot extension cords. I don't need to buy surge protectors. And then I'll make sure in my email to people that are driving or that live local to make sure that you bring your own surge protector. So I'll be getting power to the table, but then you're going to need from that table. Remember, these things have like 5 to 6 plug-ins. And if you have a light, or your sewing machine, or a little mini iron, or your phone you trying to charge, that's 4 things for just one person. So what I'm trying to do is give everybody at the table at least 1 plug-in. And for people out of town, trying to make sure that people that are flying in, that they have access to power when they come, that they're not going to have an issue. So again, these were all used. my brother recycles things. And so he finds stuff, and anything that he think I can use in my business, he always contacts me and gives them to me. So he does support Teaquilts behind the scene. I don't say it a lot, but since this one was directly for the retreats, I thought that I would just put it here so that you all know that he has saved me hundreds of dollars on buying 15 to 20 of these units here. So he donated 10. I probably got 2 that I use in Scrap Club, and then I'm going to ask the local people to bring their own, okay? So I don't think I'm going to have to buy surge protectors. What I'm going to have to buy is extension cords to get power to each table. And I do have a few surge protectors that if the table is by the wall, they're long enough that they can get to the table. So I got to just figure out how many of these I need once I get the layout and know where the power is in the room. So, but thank you to Ray for saving me again hundreds of dollars in surge protectors. Because I went up there and asked them if they supplied tables, power to the table setup. And they said, no, they don't. No, they don't. I don't have my phone in here. But it's telling me there was a person at my front door. It does that sometimes when a cat's tail go across the camera system outside. So, but yeah. So I appreciate that. Okay, and Maddie says she wants to do CashApp. Yes. So when I order these this week, they should arrive one day next week, hopefully. And then I will be getting the shirts out. Also, the checker order will come one day next week, like Monday or Tuesday as well, if I order tomorrow. So let's see. Paula S. just came in. Elaine Doucette said, way to go, Ray. Right. And Kevin, too. Wow, Brother Ray, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, because I'm like, that's a lot of money. And Mercy, they get the power to the tables, but here they do not. And then the only other thing I wanted to share, let me take it out the box here, is that when you come to retreat, you are a part of history. And I had a coupon, because we have a 2022 Teaquilts retreat book, and I totally forgot to bring it in 2024 last year. So I did that, and then I had a coupon, not realizing that it was expiring at midnight. So I had to hurry up and get quilt book number 3 for quilt retreat number 3 made. And when I was going through it, I kind of knew I had checked this thing so many times that I'm telling you, I was dead tired by the time I got this thing done. I had worked on it in 2 days, because I was trying to get photos from Kevin, because Kevin takes most of the photos. And I was having a time trying to download those photos from Facebook Messenger. So I do have 3 typos in the book, but I got the book, okay? And it's really nice. I like it. But we got on the front, we got us at Apple Tree Quilting in Columbia. And then on the back, we at Oh So Personal here in St. Louis. So yay. We got the books. On this book, we're at Missouri Star Quilt Company on the front. And then we're at Jackman's Fabrics on the back. So I will have these at retreat, so you can look in them, find yourself if you attend a retreat, or you can just look and see what we were doing. These are not books to take, but they will be there for you to view. And yeah, Kevin, I got you a book. 3 mistakes and all, or 3 typos, 1 really big, 2 typos and 1 mistake. Okay. But yeah, this is so much fun. And they're expensive. Even with the coupon, you know, you get into the fine details, which they don't tell you when they say, oh, click on this to get, the book was supposed to be $65 percent off, which is a nice price, but they only do that if your book is 20 pages or less, or your first 20 pages. And my book was 70 something pages. So once that came off, my books were probably over $100 for my books, for these books. Okay. So they're not cheap, but I feel like it's something that is history and that it needs to be documented appropriately. I don't have time to scrapbook. So if I was scrapbooking, I would spend that much in supplies. So I don't mind. I went ahead and got it done. Okay. So we got 2 books for us to view at retreat. Okay. So thank you to Kevin for taking pictures. Kevin still probably is going to be taking pictures at retreat, but I do have my friend coming that's going to be taking. I'm hoping that I can get her to do pictures, because Kevin is busy too, and then Kevin's not in some of the pictures either because he's busy taking pictures. And so I got my friend who's going to come, and hopefully she will do pictures. I don't know if we need video as much of retreat, because I think you should come. I think the pictures are there for history. We do videotape the show and tell for those that want to be on screen. We do record that for them. So we do have a video of retreat. We just don't have the whole retreat videotape. And she still might do some video stuff, but I mostly want her to catch impromptu pictures of things going on, and make sure, you know, that Kevin's in these pictures too, because Kevin's only taking pictures when he's looking like this, you know, trying to take group shots and stuff. So want to make sure we get his ugly face in there too. Oh, I want to show y'all one page in this book. Hold on. Yeah, I said it, Kevin. I want to show you all. We had some celebrities at Teaquilts Retreat 2024 that you all don't see. This is the stuff that don't make it to the internet because it's music based, and you know what happens at retreat stays at retreat, except that now I'm gonna tell you about it. Okay. But I'm gonna show you a picture. Anyway. Yes, Kevin and Joe Cormel decided to be entertainers, and it was hilarious. It was so funny. I was videotaping, and the whole time I was videotaping, the camera was just shaking because I was laughing so hard, and I wasn't expecting it. It was like they just came out of nowhere with this drama that that I could not get a whole lot. I said, girl, you better take a couple pictures because this video is going to be shaky. But it was so funny. You had to be there. There is no way that I can even describe to you what them two were doing, okay? Yeah, you can pay Yolanda. That'll be fine. I'll just mark paid by your name when I get to the email. Hi, Zandra Odom. Welcome. Phyllis G. Very nice memento with the retreat books. Yes. You're welcome, Kevin. Brenda Perkins is here. I guess I should. One mistake I do need to change. The other one I'm gonna ignore, because if nobody read it, they won't know it. But you'll know it and I'll know it. But I have somebody's name on the wrong page. At first I was just taking random pictures and putting them in order. And then I said, girl, put these in order by first name so you know you got everybody. Because otherwise I'll be going through here trying to find people all night. And I'm working on a deadline. So I forgot I moved pictures around and didn't change the name. Okay. Woo-wee. But it's funny because I had Sarah's name up there. And it's actually her daughter, Cynthia. So it's not as bad as it could be. Okay. So at least it's the locals, and at least it's a mom and a daughter. I can say they look alike. Okay. I'm getting old. I can do that. And Paula says, yeah, they had one made for family reunion. It was $85. Right. There is no way that I can do 6 days of photos in 20 pages. So I am just going to have to pay the money. And when I got up to 70 some pages, when I really got to like 50 pages, because I still don't know what this is going to cost me until I get to the end, because like I said, they don't give you the fine print at the beginning, and then when I go check out, that's when they telling me that only the first, no, this is on the invoice page, because I've checked out, put in everything, how I want it shipped and everything, and then they're telling me this is what it's going to cost, and then I'm trying to figure out, this ain't no 65% off. And then they got 65% off the first 20 pages. And then it was like 100 and something for the rest of the pages. And then I think I had another coupon that I applied that got it down a little bit more. But yeah, I actually got 3 books. And I spent a little over $300 for those books. So, but yeah. Yep. They are expensive. And then the other thing I did too is I got the more expensive version. So let me be honest. I got the book that, let me show you the difference. Don't want to talk about your book, Kevin, but this is just any photo book. When you get them and you open them, you see how the sides are when you're looking at the book? And I didn't want that because I've ordered photo books before. Kevin ordered 2022's retreat and gave it to me as a gift. So I wanted to do this one, and I got them where it's flat. You see the difference in that. You can see that difference. And so I got the flat fold book. And boy, did that cost more money. Okay? But I like that a lot better because I had already ordered one and didn't put that extra cost on there. And that depends on how many pages you have as well. Because the original price they give you is for a 20-page book. And I go, oh, that's not bad. And then I get to the end and the price is tripled. On, because my pages have tripled. So, yeah. But it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do if you want what you want. So, Paula says, I remember that great performance. Right, Joe Cormel in here. Watching, huh? That's right. I'm putting you on blast, girl. You know how you put us on blast in 2022? She told everything that happened at retreat. She did not abide by the what happens at retreat stays at retreat. She did not. She just did not do that. So that was funny. Talking about what had happened was something you don't see at any other retreat but a Teaquilts retreat. That's Sue. Hey, Shine of Go Savvy Designs. Who else is here? Teresa saying, Joe McCormick to my laughing out loud. We be celebrities now, right? Teresa says, hopefully I can go to a retreat down the road. Just got back from my guild retreat. Really great time. Got to get to know some people, right? And that, to me, you can be in a local guild. At local guild meetings, people don't have time to really socialize. People kind of sit in cliques. And that's just is what it is. People tend to sit with the same people every month. And I'm one of those people, I'll go mix it up. I'll sit at whatever table. And then we have, the only time that you're going to get to know people is when you go to a workshop, or my guild has where they once a month, they go, so at the library, they sponsor us a room. Or if you go to retreat, that's how you're really going to get to know the other people in the guild that you're not sitting with. It's not that they're rude. It's like you got about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're trying to get everything done within those 2 hours. People are trying to sign in. People are trying to sign up for raffle information if they got a raffle. They're trying to get their optional blocks turned in. We got side groups that are working on various charity projects or group projects, various things you got to sign up for with different people. It's a lot going on, and people don't have time at a guild meeting to like hostess you around the room and be your friend on the first night of guild. You just got to fit in. Just make yourself sit somewhere and start talking to folks, asking questions. If nobody walks you around, walk to all the stations and ask what do they do. That's what they're there for. They don't mind you coming to those stations. They just can't come to you. So guilds are a great thing, I think, because you get to see like-minded people, especially if no one else in your family sews. Doris just reminding you all to hit the thumbs up button. I don't think we sewing today because I haven't even sold a thing. But what I do want to do, okay, I moved it. I'm like, where did it go? Is I want to show you, if you haven't experienced doing flying geese, I need flying geese that are going to be 1.5 by 2.5. And Quilting a Day has a ruler where you sew your flying geese with this weird thing here, and the big piece is actually the points, and the small fabric is actually the piece in the middle of the geese. And so I wanted to show you how that works. So they tell you in the ruler, which I don't have this size, so I'm just gonna cut mine the manual way. But I just went online. They have a chart online telling you what size square to cut for each fabric. And so then I went online and got those measurements. And then I have pressed the centers so that I can line them up. And then I just put a pin to hold them in place so that I could show you guys. And now what I'm going to do is just draw a line diagonally corner to corner. So that's what I really wanted to demo today. So that's the main thing I want to show. Ruler. It's like, where are you? This ruler is not long enough for that one when it's going diagonally. So let me draw a line here. And you can use whatever pen because you're going to be cutting on this line in the end, so it doesn't matter. Whoa. I gotta. My marks aren't going through the corner. Let me see if my square moved. Or take the pins out. Take the pins out. As I was looking at it, I'm like, I'm drawing the line, but it ain't going through my center square. All right. And then I'm going to put the pins back in here so when I pick it up, it doesn't move on me. Joe Carmel, you messed that up. And now she want to talk about what happens every treat stays every treat. You messed that up first year. And kept posting stuff. That girl's quick on that record button, okay? Don't mess with Joe. So I'm just doing like a regular half square triangle, but I still got room on the outside edges. Look very strange. But let's cut this iron on so it'll be ready. And sit this here for a second. The only problem with this method is that you do have to center your squares on here. I will say that. All right, let's cut this. So I'm going to cut on the line that I just drew. And we're going to use scissors instead of a rotary cutter, because it doesn't matter. Because I'm going to have to bring my cutting stuff back up, but I don't need it right now. So now I'm going to press the seam towards the purple, towards your big square. Just like we would when we're making a regular flying geese, we press the fabric towards the outer pieces. So that's what I'm doing now. Both pieces. Hi, Joyce. I did email you. Hopefully you got the email from me. So we got something that looks real crazy like this. What we're going to do is put these two pieces together so that opposite fabrics touch. So like this small, this corner of the purple gets the corner of this fabric, right sides together. And what happens is, when I line those up, now these squares meet up, except that I've got these big dog ears hanging off. So it looks strange, but this is what it should look like. So we're actually putting these two pieces on top of each other. And then I'm going to draw another diagonal line, just like you would if you were doing half square triangles. And we're going to sew on each side of the line. And then I'll tell you about my block, since I'm not going to be sewing it here. I underestimate the questions in the chat a lot. My pens are refillable, but I don't buy refillables. So then I have pens that they just go out right when I'm using them. Here's one. See if this one works. I need to toss some pens in the trash. Yeah, both of these are going in the trash. I cannot. And then I'm just going to put more pens in here to hold it. So this is what I got. Just drew another line so I can do the half square triangles on, sew a seam 1/4 inch on each side, like you do half square triangles. All right, I don't need the board anymore. Put that up. But I do need this cutting board. And again, I'm going to cut on the drawn line after I've sewn both sides. Put this up. Oh, I do need this again. The one thing you're going to do, in the middle of these flying geese, half square triangle things, but they're really flying geese. You see this middle section where the purple is? On the back of that, I'm going to find that. And I'm going to put a little snip up to the line. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to press my seams in opposite directions. And it's not going to be in your piece in the end. That's going to be the extra. That's why you want to go in the middle. All right. And then that makes it so that once I have this little snip here, then I can fold one seam one way, the other seam the other as I'm pressing. So let me do that and I'll show you what I mean. I'm trying to make sure all of my seams are going towards my purple fabric. So the line that I just pressed is horizontal on the screen. So how I pressed one down and this one is pressed up. And I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Looks a little cray-cray, but it works. And I like this method because, like with half square triangles, when you're squaring something up, you're squaring it up after it's been sewn and pressed. And that's the same thing with this method of flying geese. And I just wanted to show this on my screen. Now, I could have just die cut these too and got these done, but I wanted to demo this method. Now, if I had the right size ruler, which I don't, you would put this ruler, and it's not going to be perfect because this is not the right size. This is for a 2x4. And this ruler has this little triangle that you put right in the middle of that geese. And then you cut across the top here and along this side. And then you rotate it and square the whole geese up to the size that you need. I don't have the size that I need in the... I have 1x3 and 3x6 and 2x4 and 4x8. I need a 1x2 and I don't have that. So I'm just going to use my ruler. I don't know if I can use this one or if I need to get a different one. Like a square up ruler probably would be better. This one's smaller. Let's try this one. What size do I need these? Let me make sure. 1.5 by 2.5. So what I do is I take my 1 1/4 and put it in the center above the geese, and then I go up 1/4 of an inch so that I have room for that. So 1/4 of an inch, because that's half of 2 1/2. I need my geese to finish 1 by 2. So I go up the 1/4 inch. So that when I trim this, I'm going to have I want to make sure I get this in the right space. 1 1/4 over, and then I'm going to cut it 1/4 of an inch above the point. So when I sew it in, I got my flying geese point. I'm not getting rid of my point. And then I'm going to cut this. And I'm moving because I felt my board move when I picked up the rotary cutter. And we can't have that here. So we're going to cut this into 2.5 by 1.5. So that's one side. I'm going to finish cutting that later. Rotate this around, and now I can just cut it into 2 1/2 by 1.5. And I'm going to show you a perfect flying geese. And I don't even have their ruler to square it up with. I'm just using a regular ruler because I understand that I got to go half of whatever size my flying geese is. And let me show it to you. Show it to you this way. So my finger is on the big part. But all I did was make sure that I had 1 1/4 over on one side, and then 1/4 of an inch beyond the point right here. So when I sew this into the seam, I'm going to have my perfect flying geese with the point not chopped off. It's important when you have points that you have an extra 1/4 of an inch beyond that point. Otherwise, your point is going to disappear if it's sitting right on the edge of the fabric like this. If your piece is looking like that and you say, oh, that's so pretty, it's perfect. When you sew it into your piece, it's not going to be perfect. Your point's gone. You got to have the extra piece. So that's how I used to make my flying geese when I did not have the die cutting system. I preferred to quilt in a day's way because I squared them up after they were sewn. So quarter, 1 1/4 over, quarter up. Cut this and that. And then I'm just going to show you and tell you where I got my pattern from. I'm going to show you the pattern that I got from my quilt shop that I'm using, because I know some of you all want to know. I know you want to know. And then that's number 2. So off of each side, I still get the 4 flying geese, because I got the 2 I just cut. I had this to start, and then when I cut them, I had 2. So I'll have 4, but I need 5 of these. So I had already done my other 2 off screen, because I knew I had to do 2 sets. I need 5 flying geese for this pattern. So what pattern am I using? Found this free online for searching, and since I'm substituting quilt blocks, I said, well, let me see if I can find anything. It technically shouldn't be free, but it was, and so I go, okay, I can use that. So it is it's by Abby Daughtney, I guess. I'm trying to figure out what's her website. Hold on. Because it's talking about them doing this as a sew along, but the sew along was years ago, and the pattern shouldn't be on here for free, but it is. Okay, it's by Sparkle On with Abby. Okay, that's the name of the quilt shop right here. In this little section right here, because up at the top is the name of the sew along, but the sew along isn't there. It's Sparkle On with Abby. It's the name of her blog. And so I'm making this quilt shop here, and so up here you see all of these flying geese units, and I needed to have those flying geese, and they have you do the flip corners off of rectangles, and I don't like doing that. So I don't think that that's the perfect way to make flying geese, in my opinion, is to put a square on there and sew diagonally. They always are cattywampus. So I just like doing them if I'm going to do them without die cutting, I like Quilting a Day's method of making flying geese. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Anytime you see a pattern and they're telling you to make half square triangles, or telling you to make flying geese in ways that you don't like making them, experiment with different ways of making half square triangles and flying geese. And that was like the first step. I'm not going to show you all these instructions, because you can go get them free on her page. But you know, basically they're doing that method where you sew flip corners. And every time I fold those things back, even if I sew a scant or 1 or 2 threads on the outside of the line, they're just cattywampus to me. They're either too big or not big enough. Now, I have used the trimming rulers that you can snowball your corners. I find those work a lot better than just sewing the square on the diagonal, to me. I feel like they're more perfect. So, but I wanted to share, because I know people know about Quilting a Day, but I don't hear people talking about their flying geese method a whole lot. And that's the one that I prefer the most, because I'm taking these wonky looking shapes here and squaring them up into perfect flying geese. And I still get 4 out of 2 squares, whereas when I do the 2 squares that are and I do 1 big square and 4 small squares, I feel like even though I have some waste here, I'm using less fabric to start. It is the weirdest thing I have ever seen, but it's just weird, because if I was doing 2x4s, I would be cutting like a 7 1/4 square and a 5 1/4 square. Don't make that permanent, because I don't have the chart in front of me. I'm just guessing. So even with those 2 squares, instead of me cutting 1 5 1/4 square and then 4 2 7/8" square, I feel like I've just cut less fabric, but it could be me. Or maybe it's because I got less pieces. Maybe that's why I feel like I've cut less fabric, because I cut less pieces. But I find this method works very well for me, and some of you all should try it. And again, like I said, you can just go on their line and get their the grid chart for what size squares you need to cut. You don't even need to have the ruler if you know how to use your rulers to square up. And this ain't a square up ruler. It's just a small ruler that's smaller than the size I need. But you can use any ruler to square it up if you know whatever size your flying geese is. You want to go 1/4 of an inch above the center and when you make your first 2 cuts. So it should be easy to do. I'm finding these pieces I couldn't find earlier. I had recut on another block. So let me show you. This is actually going into my happy place. It's going to be my quilt shop, and I'm working on, this is like the storefront awnings is what these flying geese are making. So I'll do that later because I'm not going to have time to sew. But I will share with you some blocks that I have made to go in. I made this seam ripper where it had to do some ripping. And so I like that so much. This was a little cattywampus at the top, but I ended up making a reverse block as well. So it took some concentration to do this in reverse. This is a lot of pieces in a little small 6-inch square. So it's a little cattywampus, but I've already figured out what I'm gonna do is, instead of putting these straight together, I trim them so that I could put a little piece in the middle before I put them together. And then I'm also going to put a little strip at the top just so that it can fit into my happy place pattern. So once all these 3 pieces are sewn, I decided to accent the little red from my seam ripper at the top there. So those are some substitute blocks that I have. And then I have one more that is done. I had cut the 2 rippers, the quilt shop, and I'm going to be having a whole lot of thread spools. So this is the tall spool. So I'm making like, I think thread spools are going to be used a whole lot because they're easy to make. And then you can make them in all different formats. So I've already made one that's a giant spool that looks like the giant spool of cone of thread like this. And then I did that one huge. I got this one, and then I also did one that's machine embroidery. So there is so many different ways that you can make thread cones. So I'll have some of the traditional methods, like the traditional cone thread. So I'm just gonna be filling in spaces where I don't want to do applique, cross stitch type blocks. I'm gonna be like probably filling in with a whole lot of different types of thread spools. That's what I've decided, because they're easy. And then every once in a while I'll be doing something just really complicated like this in a 6-inch square, and doing that. And one of my happy places is the quilt shop, so that's why I wanted to make sure that I put in a quilt shop into the thing. And I'll put a name on my quilt shop as well. You can decorate it if you want as well, but I'm gonna put, of course, Teaquilts on the quilt shop, okay? Why wouldn't I? So that's what I'm gonna do. I was hoping I was gonna have time to sew. I don't. It's a lot of pieces. I didn't think I was gonna get it all done anyway. But the main thing that I wanted to show you, and I made sure that I started it a little earlier just so I could show it to you, I needed 5 of these. So in order for me to get 5, I did have to make 8 geese. But everything that I make extra, I am keeping, because when I need little filler spaces and things like that, I'm going to be coming back and using my extra pieces of everything. So nothing's going to go to waste in this quilt. And I'm not going to show you the rest of the quilt. All I sewed was a strip onto the bottom section that has the bolt. A strip goes on that so that I can sew the next part. But this is the row of the next parts. I need this block plus, I think, 3 more. 1, 2, 3. I need 3 more blocks before I can even sew this section together. So I'm just cutting pieces So I'll cut more pieces, come back Saturday and do some sewing on it, and then maybe we can see it progress a little bit more. But I am having fun with it, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this, not handwork. So I am adjusting it to make it so that it's enjoyable for me and not for everybody else. Or not just doing somebody else's pattern. So you can always do a project, make it your own. You don't have to do it exactly how it was intended, because if you don't want to do handwork, a lot of people probably didn't do that pattern because it had a lot of handwork, or you could have stitched it down by machine, but I felt like it would look better with handwork than stitching it down by machine. And so that's why I opted not to do those blocks. It's going to be a pretty beautiful, it's a beautiful quilt that she made. This pattern is called My Happy Place by Lori Holt. For those that aren't aware of what I'm working on, I've been working on this since February, because I was supposed to start in January, but I went to the February meeting, still didn't have any blocks. But I made sure when I got to March meeting, I was well on my way. I just needed to figure out how I was going to get around all of these applique blocks that Lori Holt had in the pattern. So let me see what you all are saying before I get off of here, because I haven't checked this chat in a while. So if you said something to me and I missed it, email me, let me know about it. Put it down here in the chat right now if you need me to read it here. Darcy said, that's why I started using those mechanical pencils. I do have them, but I don't even know where those are, because I've given those out at retreat, giving mechanical pencils out sometimes. Girl, I can't even find them. I have them by the box sometimes, okay? I'll pull one out and then I lose it. I need to buy like a gross of them or something. So I have a whole lot of them. That's a tiny flying geese. It's a 1x2 finish, so it's 1.5 by 2.5. There's different sizes of flying geese. This is the size that I needed for the beautiful awning on my quilt shop. It is tiny. They said cute flying geese. Well, thank you, ladies. Are you going to embroider your name on the shop? Yes, I think I answered that. I didn't look in the chat, but I am going to put, I'm going to put Teaquilts on the awning or on the shop or something. It's going somewhere. Soon as I get it sold, I'll be doing it on the embroidery machine, because remember, I'm not doing anything by hand. So, love that seam ripper. Say, that's cute, super cool. Love your seam ripper. Darcy says, those seam rippers are great. And I ended up, oh, it's right here. I ended up going on Etsy, and I bought this pattern from somebody on Etsy. And, of course, I don't know what I paid for it, because I bought a few of her blocks to put in here. The name of her company is on Etsy, Burlap and Blossom Patterns. Burlap and Blossom Patterns. And the thing I like about her patterns over some other people on Etsy is that she gives you the dimensions. On this seam ripper, I could have made it 6 inches, 12 inches, 18 inches, or 24 inches. So if I have another spot, even though I've made it smaller, Lori Holt has repeated some of the blocks. Like, she's got us making 4 of the same thread spool blocks. She had us making 4 of the pin cushion things, and then had 1 pin cushion on the sewing machine. So, you know, I might take one of her blocks and make it bigger and put it in another space somewhere else. And I felt like they were reasonable for the most part. I ordered from like maybe 2 or 3 companies, and I don't know, spent maybe $35 for some patterns. I don't have my real phone in here. I wonder if I get out of here, I'm going to be done. Hold on, let me read the rest of the chat, and I'll tell you what I spent on this pattern if you're interested. So let me go through here first, because I'm going to be out of this chat once I'm done. Shay Shay says, I love Lori Holt's fabric and designs. I'm not sure if I like the fabric because it's more of a 30s. I think 30s are fine. I even have a quilt top that I started with 30s, but it's just not something I want to work in. And that's what her fabric reminds me of, for the most part, a spruced up version of 30s. So that's why, and it took me a long time to start ordering Riley Blake stuff until they start getting more modern quilters on Riley Blake, because even I think Jason had to introduce me to the Ruby Star line, because it was with Riley Blake at first, and I'm like, I just don't look at their stuff, and then it moved over to Moda, I think, now. But yeah, I'm just not I can use it. I don't hate it, but it's just not something that I work in on a daily. And I think they look better grouped together than with other stuff. Whereas I think Lori Holt's fabric can go with other stuff easily. Whereas I think the traditional 30s look better by themselves. Oh, she didn't get the email. Okay. So I was saying, if you want to join the Dresden Village group, it's $25 if you don't buy your items from me. It's $12 if you buy your items from me. And then go ahead and request Joyce to join the group. You can pay via Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, however, whatever's convenient for you. But I did send it, but apparently it didn't go. And I'm not sure if you're in my Teaquilts news group or not. I didn't look to see if your email was in there. Joyce said, no, Janice, I'm sorry. Janice says, you are a fountain of ideas. Thank you for sharing. Yes. I think sometimes stuff look complicated and we just don't try it. I always say, like I've done various different videos, or even on my old blog, I have like all the different ways that you can make half square triangles without any die cutting. And I think I was up to like 10 before I got tired and stopped. But my blog is just Teaquilts at blogspot.com. And you can look up, probably up at the top link somewhere, and it might have all the different little blog posts that I made about all the different ways with photos of each step. And I keep saying I'm going to videotape them, and I just haven't. Maybe that's something that I should do, and then maybe, you know, when I get some time. That's why I quit uploading videos, because editing takes too long. But and then do the same thing with flying geese, because I think flying geese are underestimated. And I can't check the emails here. I have to check them later. But if I don't see your email, Maddie, I got your name on my list. I will email you, because I know I got your email. And Shay says that she loves that old and antique look of the Lori Holtz, because that's what when I saw it, that's like a style per se. And Sue is giving y'all all the emails. I'm going to see if I can get into my mail. Oh, Lord, I hit the wrong button. I put the screensaver on. I'm going to see if I can get into mail on this phone and see if I can see what I paid for these patterns and what other patterns I got off of Etsy, in case you all are interested. Oh my God, they want me to sign in. Who knows what my password is? Let me see if it's on this computer anywhere. I don't be keeping track of that. It's already on, you know, I just go straight in or use my fingerprint. See, this phone is so old. Every time I do an upgrade, it takes out all the stuff. And I don't have my Yahoo account password listed here. That's why I ain't getting no notifications. Okay, let's try to type one in. see if I can remember. Because, you know, I got like high security passwords, so. And I can't remember what all I put in there. And this ain't going to be right. Nope. Okay, so I can. If you're interested, email me, and then, or no, not email me, ask me Saturday, because I'll make sure that I have my other phone, my real phone in here. So ask me Saturday about these patterns, and then I can tell you what I paid, because I feel like they were reasonable. I got to get back in here and get out of here. And I'm not going back into the YouTube. All right, so that's it. But I feel like her instructions are very well written. She's got pictures. Like, I like pictures with my patterns, and then they're in color because I downloaded them and printed them myself. Whereas when I buy patterns, I feel like they be 2 pages front and back, a color cover. Everything else is in black and white, and no photos hardly. And so I do like her style of writing patterns, and the fact that she has it in sometimes 2 to 4 different sizes that you can make her particular thing. So yes, so that's going to be it, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming. I just wanted to share some stuff that I found online and show you all how to make those flying geese using Quilt in a Day's method. And we don't want to lose them. Look, they so little, they coming off the board. I got to square the other ones up. But I have been sewing a little bit because I haven't been long arm quilting. So got to do something. I did contact them. I think he may have forgotten, because I forget that their hours are, you know, the hour difference. And so I need to text him tomorrow during work time, because I texted him yesterday and he was already at home. And then he said, I'll call you, I'll check it out tomorrow. But I haven't heard from him, because he's real good with follow-up. So I think he just forgot when he got back to work. So I'll text him tomorrow during the daytime to make sure that he can talk to them while he's in the office. So yeah, but I'm going to start back long arm quilting too, because I'm going to have to use my machine even if I'm going to start freehanding, because I cannot. I got stuff I got to get done, okay? But I am glad that I'm getting this part done too. I don't know if I'm ahead of the group, behind the group, because I'm working by sections, whereas in the plan that we have, they got us kind of bouncing all around the quilt, and then you kind of put the quilt together at the end. And I'm like, why can't we just work in a section and get this section done, and then not have to keep track of all these blocks? As y'all know, this girl over here will lose blocks. And so every time I'm sewing something, like I got these 2 blocks made, I'm finna put this sashing strip in the middle, put this piece on the top, and yeah, this is gonna be ready to go into the quilt, because I needed a little spacer, because I'm doing something different than what she's doing, but I got to make sure my stuff fits in her grid. So I needed to cut a spacer strip here. So yeah, I am sewing everything together that I can sew together, and it's going to be together so that I'm not losing blocks. If I lose something, I'm going to lose the entire section. I'm not losing a block. So that's going to be it, guys. I will see you all Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be working on some blocks, if it's these blocks or some other blocks. I'm going to go cut. I got 3 more blocks I got to cut in order to get that sewing machine row completely done. All of this goes in the row with the sewing machine. So I got 3 more blocks I got to cut. Make that 4 with the quilt shop that I've got cut, but I've got a piece. So I will see you all Saturday sewing here on my happy place. You all stay blessed, be safe, and quilt out, everybody. Good night.